Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Steve Sleepy. So today what we're doing is we're changing out these stock levers. I'm not a huge fan of stock levers, not that they don't work and not that they're not good quality or anything. I just don't like the length and I don't like to cut them, so I just like to change them out. Now, levers are weird because you can go on Amazon and get levers for 15 bucks and you can go to Sportbike Track Gear and buy a single lever for 130. So what's the difference? Well, from my experience dealing with all the different kinds of levers, it's usually fitment and quality. That's pretty much it. You get what you pay for. And when you're going to a track and you're going somewhere where, even if you're going on the road and you're riding at high velocity or doing things where if your brake fails, you're gonna have a real bad day, maybe skip the $16 levers and get something decent. I've had good luck with 661. They're kind of a middle of the road brand. They make quality stuff, but you still can get them on Amazon. They run about 65 to 75 bucks for a set compared to 130 bucks at a lot of the race places. But I have bought the $130 levers and then these guys, which these are the 660s, and I'll do a close-up for you. But these are pretty much right there with them. I've had no issues at all. Usually the fitment is great. And what I'm talking about fitment is, besides like the durability of the unit itself, the actual fitment of, this is the main thing, is how it fits onto the spindle that actually connects. A lot of times the cheaper ones will come with inserts and all these things because they were made as a universal lever, and then they give you all these adapters to basically make it fit your bike. Well, each one of those adapters and stuff adds a level of play, adds a level of non-rigidity, and then what you end up with is a big sloppy lever that, you know, I guess they work, but are you gonna trust it if you're cruising at 160 miles an hour on the road or the track? No. So we're gonna go ahead and get these changed out. Should be pretty simple. If they're as good as they're supposed to be and as the last ones I got from 661 were, it should be easy. If not, we'll find out and I won't put them on. So, all right, let's get into it, man. Okay, we're gonna start on the front brake side, throttle side. It usually tends to be a lot easier than the other side. There's a lot more you have to do over there. What I do is I loosen the perch. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and drop my screwdriver. So once I got that done, all right, it's loose. It takes a 10 mil on the bottom and then a screwdriver on top. We might not have to use the screwdriver and I don't wanna hit the camera. All right, so we're gonna get this in here. There we go. All right, yeah, I don't think I'll need it. Okay. Drop my screwdriver. Okay, we'll undo this guy, back it out. There we go. I guess it does screw down into the top. I forgot about that part. Woo! There it is. Nice lever. All right, let's get the 661 lever, see if we can get it in. All right, the first thing that's pretty cool, and I'll try to put it down here, is that the hole in the 661 lever matches the hole size of the stock lever. Even though they have an insert in there, the internal diameter seems to be the same. And that's what I was talking about. If that's not the case, then a lot of times when you have to keep putting shims and stuff inside there, it gets real kind of sloppy. Obviously the one from the factory has been pressed in and it's not going anywhere, but this is good. So now let's see if we can get this in. Okay, it's got that there, and this here. Okay, yeah, and it's got the pocket for that little guy. Perfect. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. All right. Make sure, once I get it in here, we'll make sure it's pushing the plunger properly. Okay, it's all the way down. Oh yeah, that's pulling the brake good. Now this is what I was talking about. You can see my hand here and my fingers are free to move. That's what I like. I like just that 2-finger lever right there. It keeps this out of the way. And that helps you from reaching this way or having your whole hand pull the throttle or anything this way. It makes it much easier to maintain your throttle and then just apply the brakes when you need to. So that's why I like these shorter levers. Okay, and it feels like it's working. The adjustability here, yeah, cool. All right, let's get this tightened up. So we get this nut on the bottom. Where are you? Right there. And a 10. All right, that's nice and tight. Make sure we're still working, okay. And then we're gonna set how these are after we have all the bike together, after the fairings are on it and everything like that. We're gonna sit on it. We're gonna make sure our hands are straight and that it's an easy pull. So I'm not worried about setting where they are right now, I'm just getting them on. But I will tighten it up so that it doesn't have any play. So that later, when we're working with it or moving it around the shop, it doesn't move and we drop the bike. Yeah, there we go. Oh man, 1,000 times better. I like that a lot. All right, let's do the other side. All right, clutch side usually has more stuff to it, and so I've already loosened this. We're gonna bring it up and over. Now, I've taken this off. That's a little pin. You're gonna wanna pull that out, and that's gonna give you access to the bottom. Now, the reason that I'm flipping this one over and everything is because of this module, which you could take this module off, but those screws tend to be Swiss cheese. And I even tried to loosen this one and it's stripping. I mean, they're terrible. And I even had the right screwdriver, everything. They are just terrible screws. They're always terrible screws. Okay, so what you do is you get yourself your open end wrench. It's the best way to do it. And then get it in here and just twist it, because otherwise it's really hard. Move it over. There we go. Now we have access. So basically, we're just going to keep loosening this guy the best we can. Get him off. There's our rooster. He must be excited about something. One of many roosters. There we go. We got it now. She is coming off. Now you're saying, why didn't you use a socket? Well, the socket won't fit in there because the module goes right next to the nut. So you can't get a socket in there. Even a thin wall socket won't fit. Like I said, you could take the module off, but man, every bike I've ever had tried to move that module. I don't know what they use for screws, but they are Swiss cheese. All right, there it goes. Push it this way, keep them together so we don't lose them. This should come out of here. There we go. You got your clutch cable. Pull him out. Oh, it's locked. Okay, gotta move that guy around. Let me get a screwdriver. So they have the little cable lock guy. Okay, let me get this top part off real quick. Okay, there we go. That came off. It is a tight squeeze, but it'll come off. It does not like, there it goes, come on. There it is, woohoo! All right, it's off. Like I said, this side's always a pain in the ass because of that module. Now, if you look, this hole's huge, and the one we took off is smaller. You actually do need to use this brass bushing. And this is the important part. It should be a tight fit. Like that's been in there for a while, whatever, but this should be really hard to get in, but it should go in. So let's see if we can get it in. Try going from this side, or maybe this side. But it should be a tight fit. Yeah, there it goes. Okay. There we go. All right. So make sure that you see that brass bushing, because that's what's going to give it its tightness in there. All right, let's get the clutch cable into this guy, into the holder here. It goes straight in. If you can get it, let me pull it a little harder. Okay, and you should go in there. Yep. Come on. It can be a little finicky. There it goes. Pull it through, flip it over. And this guy should fit inside here. There it goes. All right. Looking good. Get our bolt down through. Come on. Like I said, it's a tight fit. There it goes. There. All right. And make sure the head is where it needs to be, which it is. Not just yet. There it goes. It's holding in place. And now we can get that nut on the bottom, which again, this is fun. It's going to take 9,000 turns with my open end box wrench. But I'm going to try to zoom in and you can see why I have to do this and why I can't use a socket. And the top is actually captured by a piece of metal, so you can't twist it on this side either. If you look, this sits down inside here, so you can't tighten it on that side either. So you end up having to do the open end box wrench shuffle. But hey, if it works, it ain't dumb. Okay, now give this guy a little tighten here. All right. There we go. Nice clutch feel. We can adjust it as necessary, but now I got my 2 fingers. I really like the 2 fingers better than the whole thing. That way you're just focused on those 2 fingers, the rest of your hand stays on there. Okay, so we got to plug in that sensor. All right, and there it is. There we go. Well, obviously we're gonna have to get the motor running and see, because obviously, you know, it fits, it's made for the bike, but you're not sure that it didn't change your clutch tension just a little bit. So once we get it going and stuff, we're gonna adjust the clutch anyways. But levers are on, they feel great. Quality's good, everything fit the way it was supposed to. So I'm gonna give 661 thumbs up, the mid-price range, and I still feel like I got a quality unit. So, all right, lever problem solved. One more step done on the race bike. That was it, that was a quick one. This one, if it works, it ain't dumb, and man, had to use the old box wrench wiggle, but we got it on, and I'm pretty stoked about it. So, thanks for watching, and remember, if it works, it ain't dumb. We'll see you on the next one.